Rachel Taylor is making a name for herself with her quirky style of textile and surface design patterns. She not only loves what she does, but also seeks many opportunities to raise her profile.
I studied at the University of Leeds and I did a degree in textile and fashion design. And when I was at university, I was really proactive in arranging work placements. One of the reasons for this is I wanted to see what was out there in the industry. I did various placements from working with buyers to a costume department to textiles to kind of, see what is out there. But also because I know how competitive the industry is, and obviously when you graduate, so many people are going for jobs. So it really kind of helped me for when I left university.
Students on work placements may or may not own the rights in their designs, and this can completely depend on the relationship or agreement in place at the time. Therefore, it's really important to talk about this with the company who are giving the work placement to ensure that you can use your designs in your portfolio or to promote yourself. This, setting the position at an early stage, will be better in future so that there isn't a disagreement at a later stage.
Straight after university, I was really lucky actually to go straight into full-time employment and I worked for a small textile company. One of the reasons why I got this job was on the placements that I had done before. It really was a fantastic opportunity. I wasn't designing as such. I was more sort of recolouring, doing admin, being their print technician. But it really was great. It made me more commercially aware and that little bit more technical as well. Then after having a year at the textile company, I really wanted to push myself further. So I applied for a job with one of the leaders in the greetings card world. And I got a job as a MAC designer. I really, loved working for the company. It was fantastic, and the knowledge you get off just sitting next to another designer, was really great. But after a while, I kind of just really felt like I wanted to do my own thing. And initially, I was just a freelancer, working for a variety of companies. Lots of briefs. And a lot of the work come from the contacts I've made, back in the day when I did the placements, right through to the textile company, to the job I was in, people would recommend me. I also did register with an agency at the beginning and they put me out there and got me a lot of work as well. Early on in my career, I did plan to exhibit and luckily enough, in Leeds there's a place called the Bram and they have a wonderful gallery. And the reason I decided to have an exhibition there, and I was very lucky that I got given a solo exhibition, is because it's actually a marketing company and they do design and stuff there. So the type of sort of audience and clientele was obviously the type of work I wanted to attract as well. I wanted to voice my personality, the quirky sort of look that I have. So I decided to build a website that was very personal to me and immediately gave you a feel for, what I'm about. I did design all my website myself. I was very lucky that I had a really talented friend help me, and it was just really important that the site felt very me. And having a website and blog was fantastic because, obviously I got a new audience looking at my work, drove a lot of traffic my way, new clients and things.
When establishing a website, it's really important to get the necessary clearances, agreements or licenses in place from those who've helped to develop the website, such as web developers, logo designers, or people who've contributed text or images. This doesn't have to be done in a formal manner or by a formal license or agreement. Often a simple email is straightforward enough.
I've become really obviously aware of how important it is, to network with the press. Getting a product or a piece of your art featured in a magazine is fantastic. Just someone seeing you in a magazine can lead to freelance work or someone calling you up, for an exhibition, that sort of thing. So making press contacts, was great in the beginning as well. And also another thing that's worked really well for me was I've been published in about 7 books in the last couple of years. And about half of the books that I've been published in is partly just because I saw an advert on a site, say like the Print and Pattern blog. And from the books, I do get work, coming through emails. People use them as a directory and call you straight up and offer you work.
Moral rights mean that you have the right to be credited when your images are used. And similarly, you have the right to ask those who are using images without permission to take them down from their websites or wherever they're using them. It's worth noting that moral rights are often not enforceable in other jurisdictions, especially in the US.
After freelancing for a while, I decided to bring out a very small line of products. And And in the beginning, it was literally just a few cards that I actually got manufactured myself and tea towels. I really didn't know how they were going to be received. I just tested the market and kind of saw how they went. And I was just very lucky, that they did do well and there was a demand for them. And then as time went on, I started getting opportunities over from America. Home decor companies were contacting me, but they wasn't just wanting to take, just my artwork. They were wanting to actually take me as a brand and use my logo. And, I produced this branded product line. And what's been really good is that they're all taking me on, as a brand. They're buying into the whole package, which has just been fantastic.
Goodwill can be established very easily through marketing and through a brand name. However, you're in a much stronger position if you can actually register the name as a trademark. This will enable you to protect your brand more effectively and often will resolve issues at an earlier stage without having to go to court.
I have a number of collections now that are used under my sort of trademark brand, and I regularly get approached, for people wanting to say buy the image outright or using it on a product, but then I don't get any credit for it. But because I've used them as part of my brand, obviously I wouldn't want to give that design away then, because it would devalue that design. It's really important as well to work with the companies that are right for you in terms of quality as well, and what their company's kind of ethics are as well.
A license is an agreement whereby a designer, for example, will allow others to use their designs through a license. This is often done for a license fee. A license in itself will be able to limit and restrict the geography of where a product or a design is used, how it's used, and whether it's used on an exclusive or non-exclusive basis.
I think it's really important to always stay true to your brand image. I've always been a designer who loves colour and quirky pattern and texture, and that's very prominent in a lot of my designs. So I think keeping that going and a strong brand identity has really kind of built my success as well.
When building a brand, it's important not to just focus on the product itself, but the actual brand itself, the name that you choose for the brand, the names for the products, the marketing collateral in the fonts and the colours that you use, and also, very importantly, the website that you establish. Building a brand will enable others to identify you and your brand. If you look at Rachel's case and the website that she's built, one can immediately identify the collateral and the website as being Rachel's and her products and related. It's very valuable when entering into contracts with others that you establish at the outset the obligations on those people and companies in giving the right brand identity, ensuring that the necessary quality is established, and also having strong termination clauses so that you have the ability to terminate if the party doesn't fulfil those obligations.
For further information on the legal issues mentioned in this film, visit Own It, the only intellectual property advisory service tailored to the needs of businesses in the creative sector.